Howdy, y'all. My name is Scott Davis, and I'm a trainer with A Call to Men. We attempted to do a Facebook Live earlier today, but there's some weirdness with the audio. Don't know exactly what's going on, but we're giving it a shot again. And if you're new to A Call to Men, we work at educating boys and men around the world to embrace a healthy and respectful manhood. And we do this because we know that this decreases violence against women and girls. I also do the same work in northern New Mexico with a company called Tewa Women United, where my role is very similar, educating and reaching out to men and boys to end violence against women and girls. I'm also in construction. I've been in construction for, over 25 years now. Started out as a mason's apprentice, became a journeyman. I was on site for over 18 years. Now I'm primarily a project manager, administrative. I work for the Okewinge Housing Authority, which is up here in northern New Mexico. So I take your tax money and I install new toilets and fix windows and put on new roofs and that kind of thing at Okewinge Reservation. In 2007, I came to New Mexico and began working for a company, Avanu General Contracting. And the owner of that company, co-owner of that company, is Liana Sanchez. She's a native woman from San Ildefonso Pueblo. Oftentimes, we would go to business meetings or to pre-bid meetings or even on site where we would meet other folks in the industry, either subcontractors or other general contractors or clients or whoever that we would need to interact with in our job. And more often than not, when we met somebody new and we were together, people would address me as the boss and Liana as my assistant. Now, in construction, it does make sense in that it's a very male-dominated industry. So people aren't expecting that I would be working for her. But repeatedly, after correcting men and saying, no, she's the boss and I am her employee. So if you want to know about the contract, you need to talk to her. If you want to know about our schedule, you need to talk to her. There's a lot of things that only the owner can address. Still, after that correction, men would continue to address me as the lead in the relationship. Sometimes I would get sideways looks. Sometimes people would make bad sexual innuendo, assuming that if I was going to be working for her, there must be some sexual arrangement as well, despite the fact that our relationship is 100% professional. All of this goes back to how we're taught as men to perform masculinity. We expect men to be leaders and to be in control. And so to see me, a large 6'2" man, standing there, taking direction, taking leadership from a woman, it makes people wonder what else is going on. It makes them stop. Now, this also caused a lot of confusion in me because redirecting this was uncomfortable in two ways. One, I felt bad for Liana that she was having to put up with this stuff. But on the other side, I also felt like my manhood was being challenged. That men were looking at me and seeing me as less of a man because I was taking leadership from a woman. She isn't some figurehead or anything like this. She wasn't taking my direction, although she would occasionally ask for my advice. I was very much definitely working for her. So I felt like must be something wrong with me. And it took me many years to figure out that no, that's not the case. That taking leadership from women is important. That men need to be learning this as much as we're learning to take leadership, to learn followership and to be respectful, not just to our sisters and our mothers and our aunties, but to all women, and specifically to show that respect when we're amongst other men. Job sites are notorious for the misogyny that is rampant. And that in itself is teaching men, it's men teaching each other that to be a man is better than being a woman. It teaches us to devalue women, to sexualize women, and to see women as property. And so all of these things together need to be confronted. I do my best in my daily job to do that. When I'm talking to men and I hear the jokes and I hear the things going on, I cut it off. I say, no, this is not happening here. And I explain why. It is uncomfortable, but it's so necessary. And I really hope that any men listening to this can take stock and think about the places where you have a platform and you can speak up when you hear other men behaving in these ways, because really we need to reclaim our humanity by embracing those things that are feminine within us, the emotional side, those places that society has said this belongs to women. Well, I have all those pieces in me too. I need to have space to not only be strong, but also to be weak. It's important for me in order to become the full human being that I have a right to be. So I want to thank you very much for listening to this short video. And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to add them below and we'll try to respond to them as soon as we can. Have a good day, y'all.